What's up, everyone? It's Scotty with Money Vesting. So we've got a crazy week on our hands. When I say crazy, it's absolutely going to be wild because the markets, not only are we at a very critical area of resistance for both the S&P and the NASDAQ, so it's showdown time. It's literally a battle between the bulls and the bears. We're going to find out by the end of next week who's going to be on top and where are we potentially headed from a directional standpoint because man, oh man, there are a ton of earnings coming out. Majority of S&P 500 companies and big tech is scheduled to report next week. In this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know for the upcoming week from both an earnings and an economic calendar standpoint. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Find it helpful. If you do, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're just joining us for the first time. The link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you want to join a community of investors and traders from all over the world. We've got over 3,700 members talking about fundamental, technical analysis, macroeconomics, stocks and options pretty much every single day. And there is a 16% annual discount that you can access and of course take advantage of as well. Link's going to be down below. So first things first, let's just talk a little bit about the earnings calendar. And this is what the week looks like. We've got Coca-Cola reporting pre-market on Monday. We've also got Credit Suisse reporting a pre-market on Monday. We've got First Republic Bank after the bell. And then moving over to Tuesday, we've got Verizon, we've got UPS, Halliburton, GM, McDonald's, General Electric, 3M, PepsiCo, Spotify, and Raytheon. So again, lots of Dow Jones companies, lots of NASDAQ and S&P 500 companies. So markets are most certainly going to be moving on all the earnings. And it's really going to give us a little bit more insight into how the consumer is really doing because we know that McDonald's has been laying people off. 3M has been struggling a little bit recently. Pepsi has been pretty strong. Raytheon, the defense sector, it's going to give us a little bit more insight into how governments, including Lockheed Martin, which reported last week, I think, I did an analysis on that company as well, reported some decent numbers. So these companies, especially defense companies, there is a bull case to be made for these defense companies because of all the geopolitical pressure that we're in. So I will be doing a separate video on defense stocks. I've already done one on Lockheed Martin, but we'll be doing on Raytheon as well. But those companies pre-market reporting their numbers. And then of course on Tuesday, which is going to be April 25th, we've got the big giants. We've got Microsoft after the bell. We've got Alphabet after the bell as well. So both of them are going head to head on this AI battle. Enphase, the solar energy, renewable energy company, very much, strong results in terms of revenue, earnings. It's done really well, profitable. It's traded at a little bit of a higher valuation, but the stock price has done incredibly well. It's actually one of the best performing S&P 500 stocks in the last 5 years. Visa reporting after the bell along with Chipotle. Then we've also got Texas Instruments, and that's going to wrap up our Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we've got Boeing, another contractor manufacturer for aircrafts and defense. ADP is reporting pre-bell. And then one of my biggest positions, Meta, is reporting they have done incredibly well with all these layoff announcements. The stock price has absolutely gone up 150 or 120% or something, back up to over $200. So it's really going to come down to Reels monetization. It's going to come down to how Meta is focusing on their core business with AI, with the metaverse, with Oculus. Everything's going to be on the table. I will be doing a separate, more dedicated video on Meta, on all these companies, right? We're going to be talking about them. It's going to be pretty packed. It's going to be a busy week. I'll be doing a ton of videos on all these companies, breaking them down with my intrinsic value. So don't you worry. There's a lot of content coming out. Roku after the bell, ServiceNow, Teladoc, Align, and KLA. This is a semiconductor company. I've done a video on this. It's actually one of the more quality companies out there that you can look for. And it has actually done really well in the past. So they're also going to be reporting after the bell on Wednesday on April 26th. Thursday, we've got Amazon. Now, Apple is not reporting next week. Apple is reporting in the first week of May, which is quite odd. They usually do report with either Amazon or Meta, but they are not. So they are going to be reporting in the first week of May. But we do have American Airlines before the bell. We've got Caterpillar. We got Eli Lilly reporting. This has been a very nice swing trade for us. We got Valero, Southwest, one of the airline companies that I do find more attractive than compared to Delta, United, or American. We got MasterCard, Crocs, Altria. We got AbbVie and Merck reporting, along with Amgen after the bell, Gilead Sciences. We got Pinterest, United States Steel, First Solar, Cloudflare, Snapchat, Intel, and Amazon, of course. And then, of course, Friday, we've got the big giants in energy, both Exxon and Chevron. The good old days of very strong earnings growth are behind them. Oil prices are down 40%, so it's possible that their energy growth, their revenue and earnings growth is not going to be enough to keep S&P 500 afloat for first quarter 23, because last year we saw a very nice outsized gain on a year-over-year basis from these companies to keep S&P 500 higher on a year-over-year basis for growth. But this year, the story is a little bit different. This right here is going to be the economic calendar. So we do have a little bit of housing market data coming out. So Case-Shiller Home Price Index. We've got the house price index and new home sales along with consumer confidence. All of that's going to be on Tuesday, April 25th, before the market opens and around the market open. We got durable goods orders, retail inventories, and of course, we've got the GDP numbers on Thursday, April 27th. I think that's going to be the first estimate for Q1 23. Again, every single quarter, we get 3 estimates: first estimate, second estimate, and third and final estimate. So GDP numbers coming out on Thursday. We got jobless claims that come out every week, pending home sales, and of course, the Fed's balance sheet at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. It has been coming down, although after the Silicon Valley Bank crash, we saw the Fed's balance sheet pretty much once again go back higher, but it has been slowly and steadily coming back down on a week-over-week basis. Mortgage applications is also scheduled, and that has been weakening, right? So it's been coming down week over week as mortgage rates continue to pretty much stay elevated. And then we've got personal income and outlays on Friday, employment cost index, Chicago PMI, and consumer sentiment coming out on Friday. Now, this is the final week before the Fed meeting. Fed meeting is on May 3rd. May 2nd is when it starts. May 3rd is when they're going to announce the interest rate. There's no SEP, but they're going to give us a little bit more guidance into what the policy path for the future looks like for Federal Reserve and, of course, for the economy as well. Now, in terms of the S&P 500, in my previous video, I talked about how we are at a very critical area of resistance. We are pretty much consolidating sideways, struggling in that narrow range between 41 and 4,200. Very, very low volume, lots of doji candles. So there is a lot of indecision in the markets right now. From a directional standpoint, same thing is true for the NASDAQ. All we're really doing is just trading sideways. All of April, we have really just traded in that range. And if you come over to the monthly chart, you'll notice that the NASDAQ is down 1.22%, with the S&P 500 pretty much flat, about as flat as it can be, only up 0.5% on the month. Another thing to pay attention to is going to be the dollar index. The US dollar has been selling off. It has come down from 114 all the way down to 11% down to 101. So we are now, once again, for the dollar index 2 at a support. So if I bring up the analysis here, you'll notice that this right here is a very strong support at 100.842. In fact, last week, we got a little bit of validation at that level and pushed right back up. If we start to break below this level, we'd be coming down to a level from back in April of 22, so 1 year low for the dollar index. And that also could put more additional pressure on, well, it's in the short term, like I said, it's going to be very bullish for multinationals because the dollar is coming down. So their foreign revenue is going to be a little bit worth more. So in the short term, it can actually be beneficial. But over the long term, it is not good news. The dollar coming down for the US economy, of course. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and a quick update on everything to look forward to for next week. Earnings is going to be up front and center. All eyes, ears are going to be focused on earnings, but of course, not to mention economic calendar is pretty packed too. And we've got just the Fed meeting right around the corner on May 3rd with the interest rate hikes pretty much coming now, 25 basis points. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. If you did, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're just joining us for the first time. The link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. There is a 16% annual discount available till the end of this month. So you can take advantage of all the Binance alerts, options alerts, trade ideas. Everything's going to be included. And all the member benefits, including all the private videos as well. So as always, happy investing, and I'll see you all in the next video.